Ciao, everyone. That's how's it going in Peruvian. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Finally back. I hope we're all doing all right today. Yeah, this is more of just a quick kind of check-in video, so I'm not one for quite a while. I'm heading up to my bushcraft shelter because it needs a bit of serious MOT, and odd few times I've managed to ramble through when I've been at my old job, which we'll get more into in a little while. It's been a bit neglected, you know, bracken ferns growing all over it. The TP needs replacing with some probably some roadie bushes, I'm thinking. So yeah, and I'm going to do that. I've got my new tent, newish I'll say, in my bag. So I'm going to demo that for you all, and yeah, it's going to be a nice little chill out video, and I'm going to see what I get up to. Please stick around. Hey, can't believe it's nearly the end of August. This year has flown by. But yeah, what have I been up to since I last saw you all? You know, think. So my last video I made when I was camping on grain, when I tried to go to Poland, ended up on grain. Bushes were like trying to take me into them then. Yeah, when I did that, that wasn't actually my last wild camp. My last wild camp was a couple of days later, and I went with my friend Charlotte. Shout out Charlotte if you're watching. And yeah, we went to Graham Road again, and yeah, I had a lovely time with her. I might put some pictures in here at this section of the video, if I can be bothered when I'm editing it later on. We'll see. Because I did toy around with the idea, and I put it to her as well. You know, you fancy making a video, make your debut on Campfire Stories Lancashire? And she was like, yeah mate, but when it came down to it, I was like, I didn't want to like stick a camera in somebody's face that I was just meeting for the first time. I wanted just to really enjoy her company as a person, and not as a, you know, a prop, if you will, for one of my videos. But anyway, regardless, yeah, I had a lovely time, and in a couple of days I'm going to attempt my first, no, I'm not going to attempt, I'm going to do it, my first ever multi-day wild camp. And Biggs and Bogs, I cannot wait, because this is much needed, is this trip. So I've had a few big changes in my life recently, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, I'm going to get up to lakes, and I'm not 100% sure where I'm going just yet. I need to do a bit of planning. But we've tied around, we're going to Grasmere, me and the gang, and yeah, start off there and then just disappear into Wild for a couple of days. That'd be pretty epic, that. And of course I'll be bringing all you guys along with Bigfoots and Boggarts. I'll be filming it all. But yeah, so that's in a few days time. But recently I've changed jobs. I am no longer an adult support worker. I'm going to be working with children now in like a respite house where they have sort of behaviourally challenging needs and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. Change is good. That's one of those things that I've learnt this year, you know, through all the hard times I went through a couple of months ago. Change, even though at the time can seem like a bit of a demon, a tormentor. If you embrace it and you flip your perspective, it's actually a good thing, because, you know, at Viewfields where I was working last, I could have plodded on there for another year, but when I sort of, you know, switched on to the fact that I was in need of a change, I was like, nah mate, time to move on and learn some new skills and, you know, experience a different facet of that industry, in the care industry I should say, because admittedly I, again, fallen into bad habits again, Biggs and Bogs. I've been being a bit silly with booze recently, and I've never, you can probably tell from how gassed I am, never smoked as much in my life. You know, when you're working with kids, you don't want to be rocking up to work rough as a dog, stinking of fags, because, well, number one, it's not professional, and number two, it's a bad example to kids, because, you know, like the care industry, it's crying out, if you're not privy to the care industry, it's crying out for male support workers and male carers for children, because there's a lot of children, you know, in foster care or, you know, whatever, that need a really good male role model in their life. And obviously I know I can be a bit of a goon at times, but, you know, with my interests, you know, in dinosaurs and animals and Bigfoot, wrestling, Star Wars, all that, I get on with kids, so I think I'm going to be pretty damn good at this job. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and carry on up the hill to my shelter. There you have it. There she is. Stay on a little toy. So yeah, this is the Vanguard Nova 200. It's another 2-manner. But this isn't a dorm tent. This is like a, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what I'm talking about really. The dorm tent on the Tomorrow 2, the guy poles, they like interlocked like that in the middle to make like a, more like a teepee shape, whereas this is more oblong. And yeah, it's a good little tent. Took me about 10 minutes to set up. It's fiddly because when you get the poles in there, they like fold in like that, so you need to start putting in all the pegs into all rope and stuff like that to get it to actually properly stand up. But there's some nice little features on this tent that I do like. I mean, down here, there's like a clip that attaches to guy pole. You just give me a minute. He said, there you go. And then comes off like that. The idea is, it makes the flipping out. Come on, what are you playing at, mate? When you clip that in, it like flattens the bedroom area out as opposed to it being all like puffy and all over the shop. But yeah, lots of this is like a little extended bedroom area where you can put all your shoes and stuff and it'll be protected. But yeah, it's nice and spacious, and as I say, when me and my mate camped in this the other week, one thing I did notice about it, when we woke up, there was absolutely zero, big fat zero condensation inside, which was superb, because I've had that problem with every tent I've ever had, be it the horrible 6-manner I had years ago that me and Luke used to use, and obviously I didn't really know what I was doing back then. Got a marginally better idea now, but oh, what's it called? The name escapes me, but the little 1-manner I took out ages ago on my first one, that were condensation-y, and then the Tomorrow 2 I always woke up and there was always condensation in it. So it just goes to prove, if you pay a bit more for a tent, the quality is there. So yeah, that's my new tent that I'm going to do a multi-day camping. This is only just like a rough setup. Like, I've not really managed to get all the pegs in properly because of how hard the ground is up here. But if I'm camping on moorland or up a mountain somewhere in lakes, pegs will go in easy enough. And yeah, so it's not brand new ish. It has been christened, quite literally. Wink wink, I'm winking even though the camera's not on my face. And yeah, that's the Vanguard Nova 200. I rate it about a 7 out of 10. Nice and spacious, no condensation. It's got some good little clip features on it, and it's quite light as well. You know, that's the bag that it comes in. I think it's about 2.5 kilos compared to my 2, which I think were 3. So it is marginally lighter, and it fits in my bag nicely. So yeah, there you go, guys. It's on my way back to my shelter now. I'll put tent away. Man, look at it. That was by far the easiest pack down I've ever done for the tent. I must have done that in about, I timed it probably about 4 minutes and 19 seconds to be precise. But I wanted just to bring you back in with me to good old shelter. Just show you what a shit tip it is at the moment. Needs a proper good tidy up. I mean, look at it. It looks pathetic. There's bracken everywhere. Oak leaves have grown all over it. Look at it, mate. You can't even really tell it is anything at all. But yeah, whatevs. The plan is I'm going to cut back all this bracken and then use that for a new TP covering. And then the floor needs a really good sweep of all these leaves and it looks nice and presentable again. So yeah, stick around. There she is. Good old beautiful den. Looking better than what it did. Real talk, probably took me about 20 minutes to do that. So I've removed all the bracken fern from all around the perimeter, and just got to show you when I was like fishing through how deep it had set in all the ferns, because a lot of the logs had fallen off, so the roots had obviously knocked them over. But I've not been, you know, like entirely destructive. All the bracken fern I've used is now the new TP roof essentially, and that'll be a fix for maybe 2 months or so, and then when we get to getting over towards Christmas I'll replace it with rhodey foliage. And then yeah, just swept the floor up because that was looking messy as well. And yeah, it actually, you know, I mean, there's some crap in there. There's loads of pans and there's the old tarp. I'm going to burn that today. But yeah, it's better than what it looked like anyway. So there you go. That's my job done for today. I'm now going to have a coffee, I think. And I've got a really good book that I'll show you all in a little bit. That one of me leaving presents at work. And yeah, just chill out now for the rest of the afternoon and get the fire going in an hour or 2. So at the moment, I'm reading a fascinating little book, Paranormal Stories, Supernatural Tales and Unexplained Mysteries from Across the World by Jamie King. When did it come out? 2022. Brand spanking new. Look at the state of this. Not much. It's not really tales from around campfire, is it? If the fire ain't going. That's better. Yeah, really. I got this. This was one of my presents from work, ex-work. I don't know, how do you term that when you're referring to a place of work that you don't work to anymore? Whatever. Yeah, this was one of my gifts on my last day at my old job. And yeah, it's a lovely little read because it's full of different genres of the paranormal, you know, ghosts, spirits and the undead, witchcraft and occultism, aliens and UFOs, legendary and mythical creatures. There is stuff about Bigfoot in here because I've had a look. Zombies, werewolves and vampires, time travel and alternative realities. And I'm currently just sort of sifting through the paranormal part of the book, which is very interesting because, you know, like ghosts and spirits and all that sort of malarkey, not particularly my area of expertise when it comes to the paranormal, the supernatural, you know, the unusual, whatever you want to call it. It's not having it today, it's fire, Biggs and Bogs. But yeah, one thing I did actually want to mention was, again, at my old work, one of the lads who I used to look after, I don't think I can mention his name because of GDPR, he was telling me just recently that he'd seen something unusual a couple of years ago, that when he described it to me, he described it as a giant bat. It was like a cross between a man and a bat, and he saw it one late evening in Corporation Park, which in Blackburn where I live, it's like I'll call it an intercity park, but Blackburn isn't a city, it's a large town. It's nothing like this, like Billinge and Whitton, that's a country park. It's contained in the town centre of Blackburn, and his encounter with what he'd seen, he said it were again very large. He thought it was a bat at first, but it was too big to be a bat because it was the size of a grown man, and it had the body proportions of a man as well. And he described it as it was sat in these bushes, and it was like huddled up. And to him, he felt like this creature, whatever it was, this being, was dying. And he only, it was a matter of seconds in turning his head and catching a glimpse of this thing, turned back again, and it had gone. So, yeah. But when he described it to me, it made me think of the wendigo, which is it's like a folklore creature that exists in, again, the more sort of paranormal realms of the unusual. It's like a forest spirit, I want to term it as, but I always, again, like people who are a bit more versed in cryptozoology than I am, I always thought the wendigo was more of like a Midland American folk tale, and there's a very, very successful horror film franchise called Jeepers Creepers, which is one of my favourite horror films of all time. And the creature in that, the creeper, whatever you want to call it, that is a wendigo, and it's like a half man and a half bat, and it eats humans. So I don't know. Yeah, you guys make what you want of that. I mainly did that to give a shout out to the young man who told me this. Again, you know who you are if you're watching this. But yeah, Mick McLaren, shout out Mick McLaren from the Winter Hill Investigation Team. Get over to Viewfield News and ask for a lad who saw a wendigo. It might be a nice little pinpoint to put on your map that you're working on. So yeah, I am just going to now enjoy my fire, chill out and read my book for a little while. Right. So I think I'm going to wrap it up now there for today with this one. Not too particularly epic in this video. It was more just a check-in with you guys, kind of one of them deals. But obviously stick around because I'm going to do my big wild camping adventure this week. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good opportunity for me to sort of decompress. Not what a year it's been, because I'm in a good place at the moment. I know I've been silly with booze and stuff like that, and I can only give a massive shout out to my family for reining me back in. But beyond that, I'm in a pretty pretty good place at the moment. You know, it was a scary decision, realising that I needed to change my job, and you know, it was hard because I got on very well with my ex-colleagues, and you know, I did care about the residents. But I'm rambling again, biggers and bogs. I'm going to challenge myself actually when I go wild camping. I'm going to challenge myself to not drink every night in the tent. I'm going to try and do a couple nights sober, and just see if it enriches the experience of wild camping. Because I mainly take beer with me when I go camping, just because it's a downtime thing that I like to do. But as I say, at the moment I've been being silly with booze, so I want to try and minimise that behaviour as much as I can. So anyway, thanks for watching as always. If you've made it through to the end of the video, thank you as always. Leave a comment if you want to, subscribe if you haven't already, share it on social media, can if you want, not bothered if you don't. Yeah, it's just one of them. And I'll see you all in a couple of days. Bye bye.